Hello, welcome back. It's great to see you. Today, I thought I would talk a little bit more about meditation. When people begin to meditate, perhaps, but not necessarily, especially in the West, when they sit down for the first time, they close their eyes and they try to focus on their breath, never having meditated before, they immediately become aware of the clamor of their thoughts. I'm in favor of thinking. I believe that everyone should develop good thinking habits. However, when we are trying to meditate and to be mindful of where we are, to reflect on what we are doing, what is happening around us in this moment, thinking can be an obstacle. What is thought? What do thoughts look like? If we were to look inside your brain right now, could we see the contents of your thoughts? Are your thoughts stored in your brain as written words that could be read, or as images that could be viewed? Is the mind like a ledger wherein we write all our thoughts, no matter how large or small they are? An infinite journal, a record of every impulse, everything that crosses your mind, represented in letters, words, sentences, paragraphs. Is that what thoughts are in your brain? Well, I think it's probably the case that very few people believe that that is how thoughts manifest internally. We talk about mind reading as though the mind is a thing like a newspaper that might be read. But we don't really think that our thoughts are words inside our brains, that there is language represented physically written across our neurons. What would it take to read a mind? And here's another question, a related question. Is there such a thing as one thought? Thoughts are related to neural actions. Electrical impulses pass from one point to another. Neural actions aren't related to thoughts at a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not that there's one neuron firing for every thought that you have. Thoughts are systems of neural actions, all happening pretty quickly, one after the other, or simultaneously. Our thoughts are relationships. In order to read someone's mind, you would have to recreate in your own brain the exact sequences of neural actions that create any given thought in someone else's brain. But even if you could do that, there's no guarantee that you would have the exact same thought, the exact same experience of thinking as the person whose mind you were reading. The mechanism of thought is extremely complex. If you were to map out every thought that a person has, you would probably need a computer more powerful than any computer that is possible to build. Imagine a computer the size of the planet with incredible, impossible processing power. Thoughts are cascades of activity through your brain. There is no isolated thought. Every thought is connected to another and another. Your brain is a community of thoughts. When we sit down to meditate and we focus on how it feels to be where we are, how it feels to breathe, we become aware of the noise of the community of thought in our heads. Thought is insistent. It demands your attention. But meditation is the act of directing your attention deliberately. Not every thought deserves your attention. Most thoughts are frivolous. What am I going to have for lunch? I wish that embarrassing thing hadn't happened to me 20 years ago. What are the words to that song? What is the name of that actor? Very few thoughts are so important that you have to devote all of your attention to them. And when such a thought arises, you should devote your attention to it. When you are in a situation in which being present means attending to your thoughts, then you should attend to your thoughts. But most of the time, you can let your thoughts flow by without you. You can let them happen. Let them crackle across your brain like ball lightning, without controlling them, without assessing them, and without telling yourself that if you don't stop the noise of your thoughts, then you have failed at meditation. Most people who attempt meditation give up. They don't know what to do with the noise of the thoughts in their head. They take it for granted that meditating means stopping the noise. Or sometimes they think they need that noise in order to have any thoughts at all, in order for the things that they are doing to be meaningful, in order to orient themselves toward their goals, in order to be productive, in order to be happy. Some people believe that sitting down, closing your eyes, and focusing on your breathing for 20 minutes is too much time to go without producing something or proving to the world or to yourself that you are worthy of attention, that you are doing something with your time, making something of yourself. There is a pressure in our society to prove that you belong by working as hard as you can your entire life, producing as much as it's possible to produce, being someone, doing something. And from that perspective, sitting down and focusing on your breathing can seem like a waste of time. But meditation is not about relaxing. It can make you feel relaxed, but it is not relaxation. Meditation is hard mental work, like exercise for your mind. It is the process of guiding your attention back to your breath when the clamor of your thought demands that you focus on it. You can let your thoughts pass you by. You can let them happen without assessing them, without judging them, without saying this is a good thought, this is a bad thought, without saying I shouldn't be having thoughts, this is interfering with my meditation, I'm failing, I'm doing a bad job. There is no failing. There is no rejection. You are not striving to be part of something, you are part of something. You are not fighting to be someone, you are someone. You exist, whether you're conscious or not. Even when you're asleep, even when you're under anesthesia, you still exist. You are no less a person. Obviously, there's tricky philosophical territory here about people who have impeded brain functions for whatever reason. But I'm not going to get into that right now. This isn't about that. What I'm trying to say is that when you find yourself sitting down to meditate and feeling like you can't do it, like you can't make the thoughts in your head stop, like you shouldn't make the thoughts in your head stop, that you shouldn't let them pass by without assessing them because they may never come back, you may lose them. When that happens, bring your attention back to your breath. That is meditating. It is a process of bringing your attention back. When it excurses, and it will, because that is the nature of thought. That is how thoughts happen. All thoughts race. All minds race. Thoughts tumble over each other. And they demand your attention, but not every thought deserves your attention. What does deserve your attention is the present. You, what you are doing right now. You are a person with thoughts in your head, and that person can meditate. That person is not going to fail at meditating, nor is that person going to fail at their lives because they do not focus on every errant thought that crackles across their brain. You can meditate because when you are bringing your attention back to your breath over and over, you are meditating. If you have tried and you gave up, I encourage you to try again. And I promise you, you can do it. Sit for 5 minutes first, then 10, then 20. You will get accustomed to bringing your focus back to your breath, to the sensation of sitting, to the sensation of being a person in a place with those thoughts in your head, undertaking the endeavor of directing your attention deliberately. The more you do it, the better you will get at it. And there is a possibility that if you tried it and it didn't feel like it worked right away, so you gave up, you might just not want to meditate, and that is okay. There are plenty of very smart, capable, and productive people who don't care about meditation. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't want to do it, there is no judgment. There is no failure. There is no rejection. You exist. You are in the web. You are weaving the web. You are the web. Close your eyes. Breathe through your nose. Hear the sound of the ocean in your breath, like you're listening to a seashell. Feel your lungs fill with air. Exhale. The natural rhythm of your breath. Feel how it affects your body. Feel your thoughts trying to pull your attention away. Allow that. But bring your thoughts back. No judgment. No failure. When your attention wanders, center it again. That's meditating. And you can do it if you really want to. You can live that way. You can be attentive in every situation. You can be aware of yourself, aware of your thoughts. You can have a robust personhood and no monolithic identity. You can see the self as an illusion. Meditation will help improve your concentration, your awareness, your self-concept. And if you genuinely want to try, I know you can do it. Thank you for listening. I will see you in the next video. And until then, I wish you peace and loving kindness.